3D technology, cloud computing, and other forms of disruptive technologies are changing the face of a lot of industries. I caught up with Oluwagbamila Oyekomi, CEO of Innovations, and I started by asking him about the Nigerian technology landscape and how it has evolved. Enjoy the chat.
To be honest with you, I'm not impressed about how far we've gone because technology is evolving in the world and they're not waiting for us. So in actual sense, we have tried individually to bring up technology, but as a nation, we are far behind.
What do you think we can do starting today, following the examples of other countries like the US that recently passed the quantum computing law, and many other countries doing things to advance themselves technologically? What do you think we should be doing?
To get on track, we need to look at the basics, fundamental things that need to be there. Education is very key. For us here, we're looking at how we can bring in technology that can help the STEAM. You know, before we talk about STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, but it's evolved to what we call STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. So we start from there to see how we can help create human capacities that are wide, comprehensive enough to think about the future, solving day-to-day problem using technology they've learned in school or from associated things. So for me to answer that question, my area of looking at how to help bridge this gap is giving the right exposure to the upcoming generation right from primary school, then in secondary school. Then you start seeing a lot of ideas come up.
3D printing is predicted to be a game changer. Do you agree with that statement?
Yes. For you to understand how it's a game changer, you need to understand the traditional process of manufacturing. What's the traditional process of manufacturing? Everything you want to create starts with an idea, right? You come through the ideation process, then you go to this first level. If you are creating something mechanical or electronic, you first design, go through the design process we call non-recurrent engineering, where you check out the feasibility, what technology will you use here and there. And after that, you go through the process of creating the interface design, how people will interact with the system, then the modular design. Then after you go through that, you fix all the other electronics and engineering parts, and then go through the process. I'm shuttling this process, go through the process of what we call tooling. The tooling is the part when you create the molds for the various parts. Now, after going through that process, then you work with assembling that and so on and so forth. Now, the 3D design brings all those long process onto your desktop. So on your computer, you can do all the modeling, you can do all the interface design, check, is it correct? Is it wrong? What do you need to optimize? And then on your desk, right there, you can now print or mold out from something similar to a printer, right from your computer to that, right? So it shortens the process by days and months into one simple thing. Now, if you are able to get your 3D software on your laptop or on your computer, and then you've got the know-how on how to mold those things, you have saved a lot of money, right? From my estimates, for you to do the traditional way, to create a process from your ideation to the tooling part before you get your first sample S1, you would have spent something close to $100,000. Now, with the 3D modeling process, you are able to cut a lot of cost out, and you are able to create the working prototype. Probably, it might not be excellent, but a working prototype that brings your idea to life.
Do you think that manufacturing companies and other industries who are not aware of this type of technology, are they endangered?
If they don't catch up with the technology that is relevant on time, yes, they might go into oblivion, right? They are endangered. Now, but in terms of the technology itself, it's a technology that can be easily latched onto, right? So that's why I said it's probably a no, because if they wake up on time, they can grab the technology and then move on. Now, the technology is also enabling, right? A lot of, we've got a lot of people come here and say, can you make us this part? Because we have a manufacturing plant that has not been operating because we can't get this part for a while because the company that was manufacturing that part has closed down. Now, this 3D technology gives the opportunity to revive those plants. So in one way, it's just like asking, will computer make accountants irrelevant, right? It could actually make them more efficient, right? So the same way this technology can actually breathe life into obviously dying processes.
You talked about manufacturing plants being revived by 3D printing and 3D models. But just to help us understand, would these 3D models fit into very huge manufacturing plants?
I'm trying to demystify all the things around 3D. In 3D designing, I'm going to the modeling part. Now, there's two parts. There's the 3D designing, the modeling part, and then there's the 3D manufacturing, which is the actual what people refer to as printing today, 3D part. Now, on the 3D modeling part, it's limitless what you can do. As much as you can envision that thing, you can design it, right? So if you can design something, then you now look at how do you manufacture it. Now, we have 3D manufacturing or printing devices that can handle different materials in different alloys of plastic, metals like bronze, brass, aluminum, and where they can't. Now, the process of creating a mold, for people who understand the manufacturing process of creating molds, I want to make a metal element, say for instance with a funny shape, I can use plastic to create the mold of it, then take molten aluminum and pour into that mold. That mold will form the shape of what you want to create. When the molten aluminum is cured, then you can have that part that you want.
Finally, Gbamila, a lot of people across the world think that these disruptive technologies, including 3D printing, will lead to more loss of jobs. What's your opinion?
I don't think so. I entered the computer school when people will say as students then that, oh, accountants will never have job again by the time we're out. But today, looking back, has that happened? Obviously, no. Now, when technologies, it's just like, okay, probably if I ask you to, in those days when we say, oh, every phone will have a camera, will photographers lose their job? To be honest with you, it can only make us work better and efficient. So if we go into the 3D design or 3D modeling space, we'll be able to produce things better. Now, for me to create an accounting package, I need all the intellect and all the know-hows of accountant to know, okay, is this a debit posting or a credit posting? So if the accountant comes to meet a technology person, they'll be able to evolve a better technology. The same thing applies here. So the 3D is going to have impact. Now, it depends on how we react to those impacts will determine the future of those manufacturing companies.
Well, only time will tell. Thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
That was Oluwagbamila Oyekanmi, CEO Innovation, who believes that 3D technology will indeed be a game changer, and Nigerian organizations should be aware of this reality. That's our show for today. Please follow us on social media, and don't forget you can watch these and previous editions of the show on the Channels TV YouTube account or via cfablog.ng. For Tech Trends, I'm Chukwemeka Agbata.